His name is Tony Khan, and he's an addict. His addiction is free agency. And when he even gets a smell of a contract, he gets weak. If you're a wrestler anywhere who just got released from their contract, it triggers an uncontrollable sensation in Tony Khan that compels him to sign you. There's no way around it. Tony Khan isn't focused on building up the talent he already has and evolving them to grow with the audience. Instead, everybody pretty much keeps the status quo and is liable to be bumped from the top of the card in favor of a former WWE star, or even a McMahon. Shane McMahon has become the latest free agent subject to speculation of AEW rumors since having a private meeting with Tony Khan, one that somehow leaked on the Wednesday Dynamite the week of the Olympics. Of course, the internet speculation strategy fell right on its face because Dynamite did just over 600,000 views for another hotshot show with big matches and limited story. Get it how you live. Today, we're going to talk about AEW's talks with Shane McMahon, why they'll never gain an identity by chasing every former WWE star who becomes free, and why Shane McMahon is the last thing AEW needs, even if he's actually interested in coming to Jacksonville, which I'm sorry, I don't think it sounds like he is. Subscribe in Swahili. One of AEW's many flaws is they've stunted the growth of a lot of their homegrown talent. By now, I figured a lot of the day ones like Wardlow, Sammy Guevara, Darby Allin, and Hangman Page would be megastars and big movers. They're not. In fact, all the stars I just mentioned come in and out with no ascension or upward mobility. Between the four pillars, there's been one world champion in 5 years and more drama than success. Think of the Brawl In. Think of the Sammy suspension and the MJF Britt Baker drama. Those all happen with pillars. And though Darby Allin is drama-free for the most part, he's a walking injury because he insists on doing dangerous spots, and Tony Khan does not have the authority to stop him. Through 5 years as AEW president and CEO, I can safely say Tony Khan is also an awful GM. He has no rhyme or reason for why he signs anybody. He uses his checkbook to create headlines. Khan signed Okada, and Okada now has the best gig in wrestling. Once upon a time, he was the best wrestler in the world, according to the internet, but now he just takes a bump or two every few weeks, does some comedy, and gets paid more than just about anybody in the business. Actually sounds like a great worker to me. Mercedes Moné barely wrestles on TV, but you'd never know it by her checkbook. Other free agent signings include the now injured Adam Copeland, get well soon, Will Ospreay, who's trying his best, Swerve Strickland, Bryan Danielson, Keith Lee, Saraya, Christian, Jay White, Miro, Deonna Purrazzo, Mariah May, and that's just a short list. Between its own homegrown signings and several classes of free agency, AEW treats free agents the way a junkie treats crack. I swear to God, I need a dark side of the ring on AEW free agency. Because when AEW signs a free agent, the free agent shouldn't be standing in front of a brick wall. They should arrive in a paper bag. And of course, Tony Khan is falling for the Shane McMahon trick. I don't think for a second Shane wants to be in AEW. I think he saw how hot WWE is getting. He wanted a couple of paydays and WWE said no. So Shane did what stars like Randy Orton and even Edge have done in the past to get WWE to think twice and re-sign them. He met with Tony Khan, publicly. One thing about AEW that makes it great is it gives talent somewhere to get paid. But where AEW has to be careful is it's also a place talent threatens to go when WWE won't pay them. So some AEW free agents signed to AEW did so because they had to and don't want to be there. Of course, Tony Khan don't care about none of that because he's a free agent junkie. The last time we saw Shane McMahon in a WWE ring, he seriously injured his quad. How do you think that would end if AEW, with their carefree wrestler safety policy, allowed Shane freaking McMahon to compete? Tony Khan doesn't have the authority or backbone to tell Shane McMahon not to jump off the top of a Dynamite sign. Nobody can protect Shane or Tony from themselves, so the combination of these two impulsive trust fund kids in an experimental wrestling company would be nothing short of a disaster. At some point, Tony Khan is going to realize that the key to a successful wrestling promotion is big stars and loyal soldiers who can tell a compelling story. Tony Khan made a big splash with CM Punk and was on the right track for a while, but then that flamed out in less than 2 years. Tony signed one talented game changer after another that didn't work. Mercedes Moné is not a needle mover just yet, neither is Will Ospreay, and Edge is injured, along with Jay White. For Tony Khan to continue to buy every free agent with diminishing marginal returns is a sign of addiction. because he keeps financially supporting things that aren't good for him. Tell me, how do you think this whole Shane McMahon thing is going to end up? You think Shane is going to mean anything viewership-wise past his first big pop? You think AEW is going to be able to write a compelling story for Shane McMahon? What are they going to team up Tony and Shane as a new Elite Street posse? Fuck out of here. Tony Khan has an addiction, and it's not just to free agency. Look at how he treats championship belts. You see one title belt after another on AEW TV, and none of them mean anything. There's rarely any rhyme or reason for why somebody has a belt, why it's important, and why I need to tune in to see them defend it. What does a Continental Championship mean? What even is a Continental Championship? What is it, a belt that's served with muffins and pastries? Like a Continental breakfast? Which actually would make sense because the Continental breakfast is a half a breakfast the way the Continental Championship is a half a belt. Can somebody, anybody, give me an elevator pitch for the Continental Championship and why it's important? Do we need 2 sets of 6-man tag titles? The TNT title has a weird case. Why is it around? Do we need the CMLL Women's Championship when you already have 3 other singles women's title on the same show? Is Shane gonna walk in with the WWE European Championship? Tony Khan is obsessed with the excess. There's nothing he could do with any semblance of control. His roster is bloated, his free agents are aplenty, his belts are overflowed. He even has too many wrestling shows. For one upstart wrestling company to have 3 wrestling shows is impressive, but Collision gets killed by WWE PLEs at least once a month, Dynamite's viewership is eroded in 2024, and I don't even know if Rampage is still technically a TV show anymore. TK needs to learn to do more with less. Plus, with Shane McMahon in the picture, the AEW tribalists won't have a leg to stand on whenever there's any updates about the Vince McMahon-Janelle Grant trial. Shane would be AEW's collateral damage, and every time there's a breaking news story related to Vince, Tony Khan would have to answer a question about what Shane knew when all this was going on. Vincent has a weird case. Why is Shane around? Tony Khan once called WWE the Harvey Weinstein of wrestling. So if WWE is the Harvey Weinstein of wrestling, does that make Shane the Deshelle? Deshelle is Harvey's son, I googled it. AEW is far too dependent on too many stars it did not create. If it wants to be a sustainable wrestling promotion with its own identity, it needs to be more selective about its free agents and focus on homegrown talent it could build around. Nobody's saying AEW can't add any free agents, but can they at least make sure that there's a reason or a purpose behind it? In WWE, everybody who's even shaken hands with the Anoa'i family gets a WWE contract, but that's because they're doing a cinematic bloodline storyline, one that has been the most successful storyline in WWE history for years, and one that WWE intends on continuing probably for generations. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. WWE is signing Julia and Stephanie Vacker to report to NXT because the NXT women's division is the bedrock of that promotion, and it'll make for great matches against champion Roxanne Perez, who is quickly cleaning out that division. And Rox is ready. She's already even called them out on TV. So now there's a rhyme and reason for why Stephanie Vacker and Julia are showing up. Ethan Page went from AEW to NXT and is now their world freaking champion, for Christ's sakes. Meanwhile, AEW seems to let free agency dictate them. It's never about what AEW wants, but more so who's available. All AEW wants to know is who has that WWE cachet that can help give us the rub. AEW always feels like they have an inferiority complex when they sign free agents. It's weird, and they need an intervention. Check out this video and subscribe. Does AEW need more free agents? Tell me in the comments!